Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys how to treat trading like a business. So yes, trading is indeed a business. And if you want to get good results over the long term, well, you will need to treat it like this in order to really stay consistent. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you guys how I go about it. What are the kind of processes and the systems that I use to make this work, and also the kind of mindset that I implement into while just treating it like a business. So I'm really excited to get into this video. It's a pretty important one, I believe, because this is really one of the main difference between just the average, retail trader and someone who really does this at a professional level. So just before that we start, as always guys, feel free to drop a like on the video. I would really appreciate it, and make sure that as well that you're subscribed. Again, it would just help me grow the channel and help more people overall. All right, so let's get into it. So first of all, right, you guys have to understand that trading is essentially just like any other business, right? So for example, if you have a restaurant, right, you will have different expenses, right? You will need to rent the place, you will need to pay for employees, for the food that you will sell, right, and stuff like that. Well, in trading, you have different other expenses, right? You will need to buy at some point a good trading setup. Now, you don't need to start necessarily with a good setup, but you can eventually get yourself one with a profit that you will have made prior to that on the market. For example, that's what I did, and it worked very well. You will need to have a pretty good internet connection. You will need to have a quiet office where you can work and not be distracted. And you will also have trading losses, right? At the end of the day, and that's probably one of the best tip I can already give you guys in this video, right? It's simply that at the end of the day, trading losses are just expenses in the business, right? Like at some point you will need to pay for certain things, right? And so in trading, it's just the losing trades, right? And it's really important to have this mindset, because it's really helpful to know how to deal, right, with your emotions, and to just stay focused and stuff like that. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you guys when it comes to treating it like a business is to simply have different journals where you will just follow up with the trades that you take, right? And that's really, really important, because if you really get to a big level in trading, right, you get a big capital and you do this full time, and it's really, a big income, right, that you have. Well, of course, you will need to, just pay your taxes and stuff like that. And in order to do this, right, you will need to have a very, very good and very precise journal on how you stay updated with your trades, right? So you will need to log in every single trade that you take, when you take it, when you close it, what's the profit, what's the loss, what's the spread, and stuff like that, right? It gets a bit more boring, I would say, when it comes to this side of thing, but it's really, really important. And again, right, trading is a business, right? So it's not just about, looking at the markets, right, for 5 minutes per day, right, making a lot of money and wow, life is amazing, right? No, you still need to put in a bit more ROI if you really want to make this happen, all right? So personally, right, just to give you guys, again, my own example, I have 2 accountants that work for me, and they just help me with this, right? Now, I'm not very knowledgeable, to be honest with you guys, when it comes to different accounting stuff, because I just didn't have, any study or anything like that, right? So I'm not really knowledgeable when it comes to this. And so what I do instead of just trying to figure everything out by myself is just pay for these accountants to do the work for me, right? And so that's also another just overall lesson that you guys can learn, right? In life in general, but it also applies for trading. You just need to go with the people who know what they are doing and learn from them, right? So why would I do all my taxes work and stuff like that when there are people who are a lot more qualified than I am, who can do this for not that much money overall compared to the profits that I make on the markets, right? And so it's really important to understand, again, this dynamic. And it's the same thing for when it comes to learning how to trade, right? A lot of people are kind of cheap, right? They just want to get free information online, and it's not bad, right? But at some point, right, it's going to be limited. And if you really want to take this a step further, you will need to get a personal coach, a personal mentor. And again, that's what I did, and it worked very well, right? So it's really about understanding that, again, right, if you start with the mindset that trading is a business, you will not be afraid to spend more money, again, on coaching and the right equipment and stuff like that, because you understand that this is just part of the game, and that is something that you need to do in order to have success in it, right? So again, right, so logging in all your trades, right, having a journal, it's really, really important. And then in order to get results just like any business, right? You will need to develop certain routines and certain processes that you will implement within your life that will keep you consistent, right? So just like, again, I will use the example of a restaurant, right? Well, the restaurant need to be open exactly at the same time every single day. It closes at the same time every single day. But let's say, right, in the morning, they have to be prepared, right, for the clients, for the food to be ready, right? Like everything has to always be in order and be ready for the next day. Well, trading is exactly the same thing, guys. Again, if you treat it like a hobby or just like a game, it's going to pay you like a game, which means nothing, right? It's not going to be worth it, guys. If you really want to make a lot of money in this, right, like you need to take it a step further, right? So what does that mean? That means that every single day I will have the same routine when it comes to trading, right? So I will wake up in the morning, I will look at the markets, I will read the news, I will look at my positions, look at my risk, I will try to evaluate the situation, if I want to take a new trade, if I want to just manage my risk and stuff like that, or if I just want to wait and be patient. And I will repeat the same process in the afternoon and at night before going to sleep. And it's a constant process, right? Like it never stops. And that's also the reason why you need to really love it, right? And to have a passion for trading, because if you don't, it's going to be a bit boring and it's going to be really hard to stay consistent, right? But again, right, once you follow kind of a ordered process, it's going to be a lot easier to take your trades and to get consistent results, simply because at the end of the day, right, if you have a system that is proven to work and that you stick to it, right? Well, this is really how you're going to be able to get there and overall grow your account. And I would say the last thing I wanted to share with you guys in this video is really about the mindset of not being afraid of bigger numbers, right? A lot of people, when they start to trade, you know, they start with a few hundreds, a few thousand and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with this, right? I also started like that. But at some point, right, like you have to be ready mentally to grow to bigger numbers, right? And to just look at bigger numbers, right? Simply because, again, think about a business, right? A business could generate quite easily, right, multiple 6 figures, multiple 7 figures, right, depending on how big it grows and stuff like that. But any business operator, right, or CEO, they will look at really big numbers, and it's not really going to affect them because, again, it's a business and it's perfectly normal for the numbers to get big over time. Well, it's the same thing with trading, right? You need to not be afraid to grow and to get to bigger numbers, right? Even a 6-figure account, a 7-figure account, right? It's not something that should scare you, right? A lot of people think that, oh my God, like $1 million, right? Like when I will trade with this, like it will be crazy. And, you know, they look at this as if it was, you know, something like totally, you know, out the norms, right? But if you go into any hedge fund, any investment banks, well, they don't trade with millions, they trade with multiple billions, right? And so the thing is that once you get to this level of mindset where you're like, okay, even what is conventionally, right, thought as being a lot of money, right? Well, to me, it is not a lot of money, right? And even when I get there, I will be able to trade this account successfully. And so this mindset will just help you to grow, because even when you get to bigger numbers, it's not going to be harder for you to manage this money, because you understand from the first place that it's not a lot of money in the trading world. Again, right, for a lot of people, yes, it's a lot of money, right? People who make $30,000, right, $40,000 per year, right? Of course, when you talk with them about millions, right, it's a massive amount of money, right? But if you look at the professional trading world, you will notice that it's very, very small money still, right? And so it will be a lot easier for you to manage this money if you are already in this mindset. So when you get to this level, it's not really going to disturb you or anything like that. And so when you combine all of these things together, right? So when you have a good mindset toward money, trading, and just business, when you journalize your trades, when you keep track of everything, right, just to make sure that you know your numbers, right, and that you are ready to pay your taxes and stuff like that. And when you have routines implemented every single day to just run the actual business, right, when you take all of these things together, well, you see that this makes a massive difference between just a retail trader and someone who really knows what they're doing, right? Just an average retail trader, right, they don't do all of these things, you know, they don't journalize their trades, they don't really think about, you know, getting to bigger numbers, right, and how they're going to scale and stuff like that. They don't really have, you know, really precise routine that they have to follow, right? Like it's not a possibility, like it's a must, right? They don't have all of these things, right? And so if you have something that is a lot more structured, well, this in itself will just help you get consistent results, right? And it's just going to compound over time, and it's going to make a massive difference, right? A lot of people sometimes think that trading, requires some kind of secret or some kind of magic tricks, right, to be able to make a lot of money, right, and some kind of fancy strategies, right? It's really not about that, guys. It's about having really strict process and really strict routines in your life for everything that is important when it comes to trading. And that's really what creates consistent results, and that's how you are able to scale your account. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These were really the main points that I wanted to share with you in order to treat trading like a business and really get the consistent results that you want. So if you like the video, please just drop a like on it. I would really appreciate it. You can share it around as well. And on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.